Higbee's feeling better, so it's good to be able to get him back. He just had a little stomach bug, but got over that, and it'll be awesome to have him back out there. And then Kobe Durant will be ready to roll as well. Well, it's different than what we had a lot earlier in the year, so you don't take it for granted, and I do think, like we've talked about, Adam, throughout the course of the year, some of the continuity that we've been able to establish, or a lot of the young guys just being able to accumulate that experience, has been so beneficial for us. And they put themselves in a position to be able to play meaningful football in the month of December, which is all you can really ask for and what you want. Now, there's still 3 games left. All we can play is this one game, finish up today the right way, and be ready to go on Sunday against a team that's playing really well, and the record is not in the least bit reflective of what a quality football team this is, what a quality coaching staff that they have in regards to the problems they present, the schemes, the way they put guys in the right spots. And so we're excited about it, but it is great to be able to have these guys healthy. I think Reggie and his staff, and then the players being as conscientious as they can, trying to avoid that stuff, has been great. Yep.
How did you approach that, you and Les, in the group approach finding those guys?
Well, I think it's always a collaborative effort, and really, like you said, Sarah, it's not, you never replace somebody like him. I think the one-of-one term gets thrown around loosely. He's really one of one. But he made a tremendous impact on a lot of guys that are in their second year, or their third or fourth year, that are key contributors. And I think you wanted to be able to say, all right, based on the different phases, what do we want it to look like to try to be able to complete that group? You're expecting, like what he's done, Kobe Turner, to be able to take that step just by the way that he works and the way that he impacts and influences his teammates. Bobby Brown's been outstanding. I really think he's done a great job. Can't say enough about the job that Giff Smith has done as well in terms of developing those guys along with AC Carter. And then you say, all right, do you have the ability to add a player like a Braden Fisk, who you really like, that has some traits, some mental makeup that are similar to what you love about, an Aaron or some of these guys that are really disruptive from the interior, and you get a guy like Tyler Davis. And been really pleased with that group, and I think they've only gotten better. Des Johnson has done some really good things for us. And then I also think Joe Caniglio establishing and helping those guys on the edge really, continue to develop. Because I look at the front as kind of a whole, even though you have your interior defensive linemen, and what you've seen from Byron Young, what you've seen from Jared Verse and Michael Hoyt has been really impressive. And I think it's an ongoing deal, but it was about how do we, maximize this group and figure out how do they play together, and I think they're coming together at the right time.
Have you heard about the competition for season?
No, what is it?
Whoever finishes the season most sacks does not have to shave their beard, and everyone else in the group does.
Is that right?
Yeah, so everyone, it sounds like, just hopes that Jared Verse is coming.
That'd be good. We might have to help tilt that in a direction then. That's awesome. That's cool. I know that it would really help. I know that it would help. The issue is you might be fortunate enough to get that, to be able to have additional spots. We only have one left. Both of those guys would help us significantly, Gary. But what we've kind of done is say we've been really fortunate, like what Adam asked earlier, to be able to stay healthy. And then you got to create a roster spot. And so it's been really unique. I can't say enough about the professionalism at which both Troy and JJ have handled that. They're staying ready to go, and really it is one of those deals that we kind of evaluate every single week. We only have one of those spots left within the regular season, and so it's something that potentially you hope that nobody ends up getting injured, but because we've been able to stay healthy is why we haven't made those moves, even though we've had the capability over the last few weeks.
What do you like about the veteran influence that Witherspoon has given you in the secondary, and how did you feel about his game last week?
I thought he played. Yeah, I thought it was as complete a game as he's played, and I thought it showed up from the very first snap, getting that pass break up. But he's got a calmness, he's got a competitiveness. I think the communication was really clear. I thought that was our best game as a whole on the back end, really being connected, using the right tools based on the different coverages. And he's got a great way about being able to pour into his teammates. Obviously we were really fortunate to have him last year where he was a key factor. Comes back this year, and I thought, he's playing really good football at the right time. And just anybody that's been around Ahkello, that steadiness, that demeanor, and then obviously the production that he had, it was great to see from him.
John, how do you game plan for a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers? What have you seen over the years how he's changed?
Well, I think what you've seen over the years consistently is his ability to really understand and own what you're in defensively, be able to make you pay. He can beat you with his legs, he can beat you with his arm, and he can beat you with his mind. And I think, you see the rapport that he has, especially with Devontae, but some of these other skilled players. I don't know that I've seen much change because of the consistency at which he's played. But I do know that this guy, I remember when we played them in the divisional round a couple years ago, and he looks exactly the same. There's certain guys that they're in complete control and command of the game. Things seemed like they're slowing down. And that's what he looks like when he plays. There's an enjoyment when he plays. There's a calmness. There's ability to recognize if you're not in the spots that you should be, and he makes you pay. And so, this is what you love about the NFL. These are great challenges. He's a guy that I've had tremendous respect for from afar for a long time, and it's so hard to consistently produce in this league, and he certainly has done that, and that's why he has the respect from his peers and from coaches around the league.
I think the last time you guys played in the Super Bowl game was maybe in Green Bay. Was that the day that the tight end kind of hit you on the sideline?
No, that was Kansas City.
Oh, Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm surprised I remember that. I was concussed that day. That was why the hell would you bring that one up right there? That was a shot, though. I mean, I might have gone down if I didn't have a headset on. Because, he crushed me. Yeah, that was Kansas City, though.
In cold weather situations,
Yep.
we talk to players and stuff, but would you just be in like a hoodie on the sideline, or how do you prepare?
I'm not wearing a hoodie. You know that. You know that. You know what? I'll tell you what was pretty cold. Green Bay was cold. Denver was cold in the 18 season really early, but Brendan Berger takes care of all that. I don't have enough brain capacity to make all these decisions, Gary. So if I'm shivering, then you blame Brendan Berger on the sideline. I'm too wound up to be too cold, so we'll be good.
Feels great, man. Just being able to get out there and run around with these guys and do what I love. So it's been fun the last few weeks being able to practice with them, and then getting out there and being part of the game plan a little bit this week and getting back in the offense. It's been fun.
Can you take us through, in abbreviated, exactly what you had done in terms of knees, shoulders?
Yeah, I think with ACL, MCL, meniscus, and then labrum about 7 weeks after that, once I got off crutches. It's been a long journey. Some days aren't always the best, but just kept showing up and going to work. And those guys, our training staff is the best in the business. From my understanding, it's obviously the only ones that I've been around, but hearing from other people and other places, and they're the best in the business. And being able to work with Reggie and Byron and the collective staff in there to be able to come in here and work every day, even when not everyone was showing up. When we were in Kalu and packing stuff up and moving, and stuff was saran wrapped in boxes. We're pulling stuff out of boxes to get our rehab in. Sometimes it was just me and Byron at the facility, nobody else was here. Vacations, whatever, days off, whatever it was. We were in here working, and big credit to those guys helping me get back. And the work has got us here. So. No, they did it all in one. Yeah, a little 3-piece and get out of here. We'll see you in 7 weeks for the shoulder. So.
Your teammates, many of them, if you want to put it, spoke often when you came back to practice just about kind of the example you were. They'd look up and there you were going at it, and how that kind of inspired them. Did you feel that? Or were you just kind of doing your work?
A little bit. We have such a good culture around here and such a good team that the guys care for each other and want to play for each other. When you see a guy go down, whether it's me, myself, or somebody else, you don't ever want to see that. Everybody wants to be out there on the field, but those guys, I felt the energy from those guys having my back, supporting me through my struggling times, and just being able to get out there and go play with them again. It's been a blessing, and I come in here to work and try to do my part. It's a little different, when you do get an injury and especially during a season. Off season's a little different because, not everyone's here every day, but as the season goes on, the main goal is win a game every Sunday. Every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whatever you're playing on. Main goal is win a game. And sometimes you're not out there participating, helping them win a game physically on the field. You could feel a little, cast away a little bit, and that's just the nature of the business. I didn't necessarily feel that from these guys, and credit the coach and the coaching staff. He did a good job of helping me, allowing me to be around the team. Being able to travel with these guys, and as a veteran in a leadership role, being able to be there for those guys. Even if I'm not on the field, but being however I can help. It's interesting game days. It's like you're trying to help them, but at the same time trying to let them do their thing, so you're not really getting in the way. It's. But yeah, so it's just being able to be around the team has helped a lot.
Why was it important to you to still travel as your
Because these are my brothers, man. This is a brotherhood. I understand the role that being around here for a minute, being captain last year, like I understand my role, had a leadership role to that. So just trying to be there for those guys, and I played a lot of ball in my career, been around a lot. I had some winning seasons, some losing seasons, things like that, and just trying to do what I can and pass on the knowledge I can and help those guys so we can go win football games. That's what I want to do. It's what they want to do. It's what we all want to do, because winning football games brings a lot of other things. So it's the main goal, and whatever I can do to help that, that's what I try to do.
We asked Cooper the other day about just knowing the rehab process and everything else that you had in front of you with an injury like that.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that resonated most when you said was just your ability to be present throughout all of that.
Yeah.
What allowed you to have and carry that mindset for the last really 11 months?
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I've told people this before. I think I'm blessed in a way that I can be completely present where I am, not letting things that I'm worrying about in the future, worrying about in the past, and just being where my feet are and doing what I got to do, showing up, going to work, and being able to be present and be in that moment allows me to have the best success that I can at whatever I'm doing. My mind is elsewhere. It's not going to be all in on this rep, this set, whatever it is. So just being there, and then, these guys help keep me grounded, just being around them, It's my family outside of my family. So being able to be around those guys, and those guys help me stay present. And whether a good day or a bad day, however it's feeling, it's like I come in here, I see these guys working, it's like I got no option but to work. So. Yeah, just trying to be there for those guys, man. Pass on knowledge. I've played a lot of ball in my career, and try to pass on any knowledge that I can to help those guys have success. And they've done a great job all season long, and of just continuously getting better, week in, week out, and it's starting to show. It's like the product is showing up on the field. Just the work that those guys have put in, and testament to those guys, because those guys have worked very hard and have done a really good job for us.
Two questions. The night of the Detroit game when you were injured, you guys had a travel delay.
Yeah.
So how did you in particular, what was going through your mind? How did you weather that? And then,
Sat there.
I mean,
it was as tough as it was having a loss like that, and our season was over. It's like already that's a you're feeling pretty about that, and then on top of that, having a knee that's just throbbing. It's like you got guys that are sleeping, waking up, and it's like, we probably only got like an hour left in the flight, and they look outside and there's still cement on the ground, and you're like, we haven't even taken off yet. Luckily, I didn't go to sleep, so I wasn't one of those guys of thinking we had an hour left and we hadn't even taken off yet. So, but yeah, just hanging around these guys, passing the time, however we can to hurry up and get these guys, get the plane off the ground,
And then going into Sunday, you've been out here practicing
Mm-hmm.
your legs and stuff like that. Do you feel like you're going to be able to go in at full speed, or is it going to?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's tough this time of year. It's this late in the season. We're practicing with pads once a week. So hard a little bit getting some of that stuff out here, and some of that is going to come from playing, from going and getting thrown in the fire and getting the feet wet again a little bit. And but yeah, I'm confident in my game, and again, I played a good amount of ball in my career that I'm ready to roll. So some of that stuff will come, but I'm ready to roll.
What is the anticipation and excitement for this game compared to just a run of the mill, like where your emotions back?
I'm excited, man. I just, one of the first hurdles was getting out there and practicing again. It's like the first day out there practice is like my energy levels are high. It's going to be the same thing going into this game on Sunday. And again, it kind of goes back to like, I've always been able to just kind of be where my feet are, and it's like the biggest game is the next game, whether it's the Super Bowl, whether it's a playoff game, whether it's the first preseason game, or first game of the season. It's the next one. That's why it's the most important, and that's why I pour everything I got into this one. So my energy levels be there. Maybe a little bit higher than a normal game day. These guys might have to throw some water on me to cool, take the hair off, the fire out of my hair. But yeah, we're excited. So.
Mentally, after an injury like that, is there something that you have to do to kind of get yourself back to the playing mindset, or is it just kind of rehab like the standard?
No, I don't think so. I mean, playing football, you got to be a little bit of a sicko. So I'm wired the right way in that way to where I'm not necessarily thinking about that. You anticipate you die, and it's with injuries. You think about injuries, you're more susceptible to getting injuries. So it's out the window. I'm going. It's time to go. So me thinking about that's only going to put me at more risk. So.